Live stream, I don't know when it goes live. I don't know what the first thing you hear is, but I wanna make sure it's entertaining as soon as we go live, baby. I think all of that actually. Alright, let's check the audio. Let's make sure that we're... Sounds like it's there. Alright, now we have to share this stream to make sure people know about it. So we're gonna take this link to Twitter, go to the home, I say live now. That's not how you spell live. And then I tweet that shit. And I click send now because I have an extra step before my tweets send because I pay for Twitter Blue.
Twitter Blue.
$3 a month in order to upload 10 minutes of video. And also your tweets, they stay in limbo for like 40 seconds so you can check and make sure that you spelled everything correctly.
I think it's a whole minute.
Is it? I don't think so. It usually when I go back to click on it, it's almost done. But I'm not sure. Live chat. Nobody has chatted yet. There's not a single chat. There are 11 concurrent viewers. You are obligated to type. I wish to know who you are. No lurkers allowed in this stream. This is a typists only stream. I'm joking. Everybody's allowed. But, you know, I'm calling you out. Even you who's watching the VOD, you think you're safe because you're not in the live stream. You think, oh, I'm watching something old that already happened. I just made it real and in the now and in the moment. You are personally called out.
Now.
Lady Akemi says, hello. Sakaran Ekdien, that's an interesting name, says hi. And Clovis Beloy with €2 says first? You were almost first. Actually, probably the time it took...
First super chat.
First super chat, but probably the time it took to, like, realize all the details of the super chat is what caused them to not be first. So I am very sympathetic to that. You were almost the actual first person in chat. But because you decided to contribute actual money to being first, it halted the position. Justin Otter, I'm not real, it's okay. I'm not schizophrenic. That's actually on the screen, right? Because I'm a big Otter fan, so I have to make sure that I'm not hallucinating things that I like. You know what I mean?
No, that's for real. That's there.
Hello, Otter. I like otters. Mapu says, yo, actually got sort of personal question for you. I'm curious. How much of the recent content explosion has been a result of sort of feeling the need to revive the channel for your income versus, like, recent bursts of artistic inspiration? 1,000%. I want money.
Money good.
Money good. It's also sort of opportunistic because the new season of anime just ended, which is always a great time to cover a bunch of shows that just ended. If you look back, the biggest, like, wellspring moments in my channel came when I covered a bunch of just ended popular shows all at once. So I basically just tried to duplicate that, and it's working out, especially with Mushoku Tensei. That video has got almost 30,000 views in like 2 days, which is very, very good. And I have a follow-up video that I'm editing right now, aside from the fact that
as we stream.
Yeah, like, not doing both things at once, but if I was that badass, I would be bragging about it. But my videos keep getting taken down. Did you know my Spy Family video got taken down again?
I did. It's a tragedy.
It was already up to 15,000 views.
That's terrible.
It was only at 5,000 when it came back from being blocked, which means it gained like almost half of that like last night. And then it got blocked again by Toho. That's fucked. That's so fucked. Toho sucks. They also had blocked the Ninja Scroll video, which I think is still technically in limbo, and they could end up blocking it again. Because when a video gets blocked by YouTube, like, you can appeal that, and if the company doesn't respond within 2 days, the video comes back, but then they have 30 days to respond, so they can still say, yeah, fuck your video. So, like, Spy Family, 2 days passed and they hadn't said anything, so it came back. And then 3 days later, they decide, nah, actually, we think this is copyright infringement. The video is called Spy Family is for Everyone. Why would you ever remove that from the internet?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Garbaggio vibes. I'm just feeling a lot of Scream.
Mopu says, not that they need to be mutually exclusive, of course. Clovis Beloy says, Google screwed me with confirming payment, lol. Yep, like I said, would have been first if not for the hassle of actually trying to pay. That's by far first in spirit. Like, charging ahead of being first to type. Random Guy says, I am a lurker. I love that you're called Random Guy as a lurker. Very appropriate. Mopu says, it's making me think of August 2018. That was the month where I did a video every day all month because I had just moved to Boston and spent a lot of money and really wanted to make that money back. Yeah, it's a similar situation. This time I'm trying
it's
to
less
buy a
about
house.
making money back and just making money. There's not money to be made back, you know? It's a blank slate. Well,
back. I had money.
I'm a youngin' over here.
Yeah. Well, it's really just that nothing else works. Like, throughout my career, I have really tried to balance work, life, and experimentation. Where, like, I want my job to evolve. I want to be able to do different stuff that has a different feel, and and always do different kinds of things. And so when I was making a lot of money, it felt very comfortable to do that kind of experimentation. And then, at points where I feel like, wow, I really actually need the money to be able to, like, live my life normally, then, yeah, I'm just encouraged to work harder than normally. I'm pressed more than normal. So, yes,
I'd be hard-pressed to make some money.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is this is just what it looks like when I take all of the Goku clothes off. You know what I mean? Do you know about Goku's clothes?
No, I don't.
So, in Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Piccolo, their clothes actually weigh like 1,000 pounds or something.
Oh, Rock Lee. Like Rock Lee's
yes,
ankle
exactly,
weights.
yes. But he, like, takes it off and it, like, dents the ground as soon as he takes his gauntlets off or whatever. Like, yeah. That's all it is. It's just, like, you bathe a little less and you make a few more videos. That's the trade-off. Like, you live a little bit less of an actual life and you get to make a few more dollars. So that's how you make that many videos at once. Thought about unlisting the stream VODs and putting them in a playlist or something. More unsolicited advice that really doesn't look great amidst the scripted videos. I actually think it does. I think it actually looks better because of the fact that it makes it look like more time has passed. I don't want people to click on the channel and think like, oh, this person just like suddenly became very active in the last month or whatever, like I want them to think like, oh, this is a really active channel. Look, they've got live streams and videos coming out all the time, like I think that's a way better look. Also, the live streams, aside from being the best way to get long form content of me talking at length, familiarizes people more and more with Elden Ring, which I intend to talk about for at least another year.
Held on wrong.
Like, if you think you're getting away from Elden Ring, you don't understand what this channel's trying to do. You're gonna know Elden Ring back and forth by the time I'm done with you. Jeffrey, the Austrian cyclist Holzer, says, back for more. That's the attitude I want people to have when they click on the live stream. I love this place, by the way.
This is the windmill village, Dominula, where there's a bunch of people who dance around and kill people.
They're all doing Irish, like, river dance That's Irish, right? River dancing.
Yeah, I think Riverdance is Irish.
I hear the Spice and Wolf soundtrack in my head when I see this kind of thing. Hold on, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play what I mean, at least. I'll play it loud enough for all of you. I didn't untype Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling before I typed Spice and Wolf OST. Let's see what we're looking for.
I apologize for that woohoo. That was disrespectful.
This is not. No, not this. Hold on. I'll find it.
Whoa, that's terrible.
Woo!
That's terrible.
That tears ass, but it's not what I'm looking for. Nope. Nope. Ooh, I want to sample that for a beat, actually. I'll send that to Cranberry Dave. This is a little bit more of what I was thinking about. This is what they're dancing.
This sounds like we're in medieval times.
Does their dancing... This is the... Like, think about the river dancing.
Sure. The dancing is correct to the music.
You can picture it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh shit, there's a guy here.
Just to make sure the audience knows what I'm talking about. Alright. Y'all get it. Alex Evans Pop Psychedelic Renaissance. What a name. Says hello, friend. Super duper. I've been listening to Get Action on repeat.
Put your fucking life on the line.
Mopu says, I feel like it's almost impossible to experiment on YouTube unless you're already very successful on the mainstream main channel front. I don't even think you can do it if you're in that boat. It's like a one for me, one for them kind of situation. Like, YouTube is vicious as an algorithm. Like, we all talk about the algorithm, but it is just an algorithm. And it's actually, I'll say that YouTube's made a lot of changes lately that I like, because it's got clearer communication. Where, like, right now, YouTube is outright telling me that it is pushing my videos to more of my subscribers because more people clicked on the Mushoku Tensei video than normal out of the... So, okay. This was explained to me actually years ago by Tom Oliver. He said that YouTube themselves released this data. If, when you release a video, if you don't have like a super active subscriber base, it only pushes it to 10% of your subscribers who are the most active. And based on how many of those people click on the video, it pushes it to more of your subscribers. So, every time you put out a video, you are trying to activate as much of your own subscriber base as possible, but also, if that video catches on enough, then YouTube will start pushing it to other people outside your base based on whatever tags and other things are relevant, like, you know, stuff that's similar that other people are watching. So, Mushoku Tensei, you know, most popular anime that is relevant with people who are in my audience right now. Just is the way it is. And, you know, I have another video I'm actually editing right now about Mushoku Tensei and its place within isekai history because of how successful that video already is. But, like, I'm trying to remember exactly the phrasing of the question I'm actually answering right now. I feel like it's almost impossible to experiment unless you're already very successful in the mainstream man channel front. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're not successful in the mainstream channel front, you're always experimenting.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a great way of putting it. Every single video is, I hope this will be... Every video I make, I think, has the chance to get 1 million views. Always. I don't make a video if I don't think it could have 1 million views. The only thing separating any of them from that view count in my mind is luck. Like, happening to catch on with the right people and get shared with the right crowd. Because, like, if you look at what content even that I have made that has millions of views, there's no reason to think anything I've made this month couldn't have 1 million views. You know? Like, everything I've talked about has been either popular or relevant or interesting in a way that is timeless. Like, it's just that you know, YouTube doesn't promote your content based on, like, it just doesn't know what it is. YouTube doesn't know what the content is. It doesn't know that it could or should have however many views it should have, or how many people would be interested. Like, the fucking raccoon video, anybody would be interested in that. There's just no one I could imagine not watching that for 5 minutes. Nobody. Not a single human on planet Earth. That video could have 20 million views. The only reason I made the video is that
so you're telling me that raccoons infested Japan?
Exactly. The only reason I made that video is that there's not already a video on the subject with 1 million views. All the other videos on the subject have even fewer probably than mine does by now, actually. Like, PBS talked about this in a documentary they did on raccoons around the globe. It's a 3-minute segment in a PBS documentary. It's the main reason anyone in America knows about this fucking factoid at all. And there's a couple of the YouTube videos about it, but they all don't have the right title, which is the one I gave it. The anime that caused the Japan's raccoon infestation, which just makes you go, what the fuck, you know? But, like, the only thing separating that video from millions of views is YouTube's algorithm and deciding that it's worth promoting to people. I can't imagine someone who wouldn't be interested in it. And it's not even that my video is more deserving than other videos on the same subject, just that none of them has gotten that promotion, you know? It's a weird system to be a part of, but I also do understand that, like, my viewership is built out of people who watched me talk about light novel adaptations, and especially isekai. So, like, talking about something like Mushoku Tensei makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. I totally understand why that would be the most successful video I've done yet out of the batch, you know? But it doesn't mean it's the one with the most potential. And it's like, if I can just get back into that good grace of the algorithm where it thinks that everything I do is gold, like it did once... You know?
My understanding of your channel is that it's lit as ice gets cold. If you don't like it, you don't like gold.
Exactly. You understand. Hey, we got a $20 super chat.
That's a whole $20.
From Thug Lit.
Thug Lit.
That is a lit and thug name. Sorry it took so long to get to it. What's up? Hope you're doing okay, Yig. I am. I'm feeling pretty lit right now.
I'm feeling lit as ice gets cold.
We headed down to the Wawa. People who aren't on the East Coast might not know about
Wawa is like the In-N-Out experience of the East Coast.
That's high praise. They don't have any food that's as good as In-N-Out.
No, certainly not, but it's the same experience.
Of, like, they really care about the quality. They actually... Well, and it's that Wawa literally won't open stores in places that they can't have access to, like, local farms and shit to get, like, day one. Like, they want to have the milk that came out that morning. You know what I mean?
Milk,
like,
good.
Yeah.
Raw milk, better.
They started in Pennsylvania, and they've spread their way around the Upper East Coast. But Wawa's a 24-hour convenient gas store. They usually have the cheapest gas in town, and... they ready make food for you for inexpensive prices. It's not amazing food, but it's better than any
what
other
makes
gas
a Wawa hoagie a Wawa hoagie? Is it the fresh hoagie loaf?
Anyway, we went to Wawa.
The fresh mozzarella?
We got a couple
the fresh cold cuts? The fresh produce?
We get a lot of ads for Wawa.
Or it being made exactly the way you want it.
Also, when you're pumping the gas, it plays ads for you. We each drank one of these Goose Island Beer Company 9.9% alcohol by volume tropical beer hug because it's a bear.
Pretty enjoyable.
It's a bear with sunglasses with a smile on. It's an Imperial IPA, but it does not taste like an IPA.
It's drinkable.
It tastes like a berry punch beer.
It does, yeah. It's crazy.
And then we followed it up by having almost finished our
Golden Monkey
19.2 fluid ounce 9.5 alcohol by volume Victory Brewing Company Golden Monkey Belgian style triple. Belgian triples are by far the best beers. If you don't drink a lot of beer, it's probably because you haven't discovered Belgian triples.
Quadruples or stouts. I like stouts. Good.
Stouts and fucking golden ales and
red ales.
And fucking... I don't think I like porters, do I?
I like porters.
Is that the one I don't like?
Porters are similar to stouts.
Is stout like a Guinness?
Yeah.
I've gotten more used to that. Anyway, Thuglit, there was more to what their super chat was asking. So I hope they didn't feel like, oh god, I hope
what was the more?
There was more to it. I wanted to ask if you've ever seen Bigata HK and what's your opinion of it. Gonna be honest, I almost never hear anyone mention it, but it's probably my favorite show ever. That's a really interesting favorite show ever to have, and I recommend you check out last season's Sono Bisque Doll wa Koyo Suru, or My Dress Up Darling as it's called in English, because that show is very similar to Bigata HK, but since you probably never heard of this show, Bird, I will tell you about it. Bigata HK is a show about a girl who's like 16 and she's like, I'm a virgin and I feel like shit, so I'm gonna fuck 100 guys before I graduate.
That sounds fun.
But then she basically spends the entire rest of the show just trying to get into the pants of this one dorky dude who really likes her. And so it becomes a, like... By the end of the show, it's just a show about things getting in the way of this couple fucking.
Are you telling me that there was something in the way?
Yes. There is indeed something in the way of them ever getting it on for no particular reason, because they both want it by the end of the show.
Would you say by the end of the show there is at the very least something in her ass?
Close. He almost gets in there, but not quite. I think you would enjoy Bigata HK probably more than Bisque Doll, because...
What's the Bisque Doll again? Is that the fungus thing? That was the
first show I covered out of all these new videos I've been making. I don't know if you watched this video, actually.
I probably watched it.
The guy, his granddad makes like really detailed Japanese dolls, and so the kid grew up always thinking these dolls were super beautiful, and then he meets this insanely hot girl in his high school class who secretly is really into cosplay. Because she finds out that he can tailor clothes, she's like, you gotta make me cosplays, and he's like, okay. But like, they both really want to fuck pretty quickly, and so it becomes like a, hey, watch these cuties kind of get to know each other kind of show. And then by the end it becomes a, I'm not sure why they haven't had sex yet, but things keep getting in the way. So I guess that's all it is. But yeah, Bigata HK is very similar. The male character is less interesting in Bigata HK, but the girl is more memorable. She's like, in Bisque Doll, it's more like they're both the main character, whereas in Bigata HK, it's like the girl is very much the main character. But it's pretty fun. There were a couple videos by Mumkey Jones about Bigata HK that made him first popular. Because his first...
Mumkey's fun. I like him.
The Mumkey Jones video that blew him up was Anime Review Bigata HK. And it got his channel got taken down his channel got taken down twice. So many times. It was taken down twice because of a fucking Boku no Pico video that he made.
What's Boku no Pico?
Boku no Pico is a Shotokan, you know what that means, right?
Little boys?
Yes. Shotokan hentai from the same producers who did Bible Black. So it's got really good production.
I know
quality.
Bible Black. Bible Black is fun.
Yeah. So the same artist who did Bible Black also drew a little boy getting railed by a dude.
I don't enjoy that as much as I would enjoy Bible Black.
You might be surprised. It's a very...
I don't think I would.
But Bible Black is really well animated and really, really infamous. Because if you go on 4chan and you ask what anime should I watch, the first answer is going to be Bible Black.
Which is a great answer.
I meant Boku no Pico. It's going to be Boku no Pico every time.
Oh.
Until Boku no Pico existed, it might have been Bible Black. But
Bible Black is a good answer.
Boku no Pico will always be the answer if you go to 4chan and ask what anime should I watch, because this little boy is getting fucked.
What makes you think I would be surprised?
Just the way it's animated doesn't make it actually seem like it's a little boy. You know?
No.
It's animated like just a guy fucking a woman. It's just contextually you happen to know that it's a little...
That doesn't... I would rather watch Bible Black.
Well, obviously you'd rather watch Bible Black. I didn't say you would love it. Anyways, I'm just saying everybody would be shocked by how well animated
I'm gonna say don't watch Boku no Pico.
The same guy who did it did also Bible Black and also Star Jewel, which I think is like the pinnacle of animation and hentai. Anyway, yeah, so Mumkey blew up on a Bigata HK video that got big on Reddit, and then his channel got deleted, and then it got big on Reddit again on his second channel, and then that got deleted, and then he had a third channel, and it blew up on Reddit again, and then that channel got deleted literally by the FBI.
Hey,
not even a joke.
I love the FBI. They
because
do
of his
some
videos
great
about
work.
Elliot Rodger. So that was some wild shit. YouTube is not a safe place to work.
No, but the FBI is great.
As a YouTuber and a rapper, I need hazard duty pay.
You said duty.
I did say that. So anyway, yeah, Bigata HK is alright. I liked it. Adam from Houston's in the chat.
Hey, Adam from Houston.
He said, it is La Blue Girl. Come on, you should know that. You gotta train your vessel. Blonde Foo Taz have a way of being seen. Blonde Foo does. What a cold gaze. It's always cold in Siberia, nor Reddit the poop. I have the FBI. They stole my drugs one time back in 2009.
I think he probably meant hate the FBI.
That's probably what he meant. Yeah, you're right. Or maybe he's got him. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, that, I don't know what he was referring to with the poop. La Blue Girl is a classic. Have you ever heard of La Blue Girl?
No.
Alright, I'm about to get into some old people shit, because Adam from Houston's here, and that's what happens.
Old people shit?
Older people shit, yeah. This is actually older than me, so I'm projecting a little bit into like Adam's realm of being old with this, but like La Blue Girl is like I think it's actually as old as I am, like literally as old as me, like 1991. Hentai OVA that blew up in the United States. So the first like erotic anime to become popular worldwide were Urotsuki Doji and La Blue Girl. Urotsuki Doji, or Legend of the Overfiend, particularly was big in the UK because there was a UK publishing company called Manga Entertainment that they published Ninja Scroll, they published Ghost in the Shell, they published Akira. Like, they were the company that blew up all the big anime of the late 80s and early 90s. And so I think they also published Urotsuki Doji in the UK. I don't know if they did in the US, but like Urotsuki Doji is way more pornographic than those other movies. And like Ninja Scroll has sexual assault scenes in it, but it doesn't have like sex scenes in it. Urotsuki Doji is hentai, and La Blue Girl is even more of hentai. But like La Blue Girl, I think, kind of coasted on the success of Urotsuki, because Urotsuki Doji is a movie with like insane visuals. It's like the most like over the top fucking visual masterpiece that I can think of. I love that movie beyond the fact that it's hentai. Whereas La Blue Girl is like more meant to be something you masturbate to, but it's still like a bunch of crazy monsters and like this wacky premise and you know, I think it was the first thing that I would properly consider to be hentai, because I don't even think Urotsuki Doji, like, that's not a movie you really are meant to masturbate to. It's a movie you're meant to look at and go, what in the flying fuck am I looking at? La Blue Girl is the actual hentai version of Urotsuki Doji that, like, became popular. I'm sure lots of people have watched it just to say, what the fuck am I looking at? It's been screened at conventions, but I don't know. That movie is less of something I would watch with other people in the room than Urotsuki Doji is. Which I know these movies all get shown at conventions at like 2 a.m. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on in the Elden Ring?
I'm just running around killing stuff with a big sword.
We've been live streaming this game, and there was a point where you were like, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do in the live stream, and then you beat the game off screen. Now we're in New Game Plus, in case anybody didn't know that, right? This is still the New
yeah.
Game.
So before this stream, what kind of held us back was that there's a new patch, and it made big swords swing a lot faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is a lot more fun to use.
Oh, that's gonna benefit my build then.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to make my build easier. I thought they were going to make it harder. What the fuck is going on? Why are they making the game easier? This is not the From Software way. They're supposed to maladapt my stat alignment. That's hilarious. Adam from Houston says, dude, I'm 37. Well, I'm 30, so you're still old. Jane says, last night I was listening to the PCP and Monkey was on. I think Nate mentioned Monkey's name, and my dad asked my dog if he, quote, liked monkeys.
Wait, Nate was on the PCP?
This is old. Monkey was there too. So,
well, Monkey, I believe Monkey could have been on the PCP.
Monkey would probably be on there before Nate would, yeah. If he was getting paid for it. Were you always into men, Trixie? Yeah.
No, only me.
You're the only one I've ever actually been with. I was always into Link from The Legend of Zelda, but I think that's more projection. I've seen more of Link getting fucked than fucking anybody.
That's very strange.
Link is a twink. That's why they made a girl version, because they had to acknowledge that, like... I think the developers were sick of seeing Link get fucked and needed there to be a girl version so they could, like, you know, sweat it off or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Alright. Lady Akemi says, oh, now the game is more fun. From Software influenced by video game ableist cancel culture.
What?
It's a joke. MNNM said From Software influences by video game ableist cancel culture. Because I was saying they were making it easier, and they're saying that all the people campaigning about the game being too hard has made them make it easier. That could honestly even be true. It could be that they're like, fuck it, we already sold 12 million, let's just make the game fucking easy and make everybody buy it. I would do that if I was in their position. But I'm, you know, driven by greed, evil impulse, as opposed to being good and based. Sludge. Jane says, also my dad refers to Elden Ring as cock ring. That's not that clever. That's what I would say to him. Adam from Houston says, have you ever heard the story of how I didn't join the CIA?
No, I haven't heard that one.
I think we all have a story of how we haven't joined the CIA.
Well, I feel like...
They never called.
They never called. Did you apply?
I never applied. Says live in the pod. The Illuminati has nudie pics of your mom. Rob. And he came and says, watch FromSoft make the game easier, and I still suck at it. It's still a hard game. How hard would you say this game was? You beat the game.
How long? It took me like 40 hours, right?
Is it the hardest game you've ever beaten?
Probably.
What was the next hardest game you've ever beaten?
Portal 2.
But that game was only... How long did it take you to beat Portal 2?
I couldn't tell you.
Were you on single player or multiplayer?
Single.
Okay. I've never played the single player, so I don't actually know how hard that is. I played the multiplayer with Shade. We beat it in a night. Because we're based. I think we did it on a live stream, even. Trixie is driven by greed? Who's forgetting love now? No, love is
love
what
and
compels
greed
my
are
greed.
very.
I wouldn't have any greed if not for love. If it was all for myself, I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't need anything. It is only the need to make our lives better.
Why do you think she's making anime videos?
Yeah,
it's not.
If I was by myself, like living, I could be in a tent next to a bunch of homeless people writing a novel right now, and I would probably be fine. But like, this is better.
This is better.
I feel like Elden Ring is pretty easy unless you're doing like a challenge run or something. Yeah, I mean that all depends on how much you know. Like, it's easy if you've played any other From Software game.
Specifically King's Realm.
Like I wouldn't say the game became easy for you, but
it's
like,
easy now.
It's easy now, but like, you did a lot of research on this game. It wasn't easy just because you like intuitively knew what to do. The game is no more intuitive than any other Souls game. It's fucking hard. You've got to research it. And like, part of what I'm going to talk about in my Elden Ring series is that like, From Software does not expect you not to use the internet when you play the games. Like, it's really funny what all the elitists' perspective is on the game of like, you can do everything by yourself on the first try. It's like, yeah, nobody's doing that. Like, 10 of you actually did that, 100 of you are saying you did it, and the rest of us don't give a fuck at all and used help, you know, like, because it's what the developers expected, because they wouldn't have put a social component in the game if they didn't expect it to be a social game. It's just really funny to me how many people will play against the intentions of the developers and then claim that it's the right way to play and then scare other people out of the game. The reason the game is mainstream and has sold 12 million copies is that it's secretly they've always been easy. It's just they've been, they've been protected by people who wanted to understand themselves in the games they like. I understand. I was one of them.
Trixie, is this bird the same?
What do you mean, is this bird the same? Did I change birds? Are you like Andrew WK? You have multiple actors?
Does Andrew WK have... You mean like MF Doom?
MF Doom is probably a better actual example, but so there was in like the late 2000s, it was rumored that someone else had played Andrew WK for a while, and because of the fact that Andrew himself was very cagey in how he responded to those things,
are you telling me that
think it might be true? But I think it was like possible that maybe there was like a show or a thing he did where someone standed in for him or something like that, but like, he really doesn't want people to think that this is the case. Like, he really wants people to think that he has been the same guy consistently the whole time. But it's just the way that he's talked about it that made people think that, like lended more credence to the
Barbra
conspiracy
Streisand
theory.
effect.
Yes, and it's because he's probably signed an NDA that he can't talk about something that makes it so he has to be weirdly cagey about whatever it was. But, like, it was just a thing in, like, 2012 or whatever that people thought someone else had been Andrew WK for a while. And he's also someone who's been, other people have been mistaken for him because of his long hair and wearing all white. So, like, anybody with that look in New York City...
I've been mistaken for Skrillex in New York City.
You didn't even have the Skrillex hair ever, did you?
No, but I had long, dark hair. And I'm tall and skinny.
You weren't even wearing glasses.
Does he wear glasses?
Yeah, he always was horn-rimmed glasses and the hair that was iconic for years. Somebody mistaking you for Skrillex is being ridiculous.
It's funny, isn't it?
But yeah, who was I talking about before you mentioned Skrillex? I was going in depth on somebody just now. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh no, it's my turn to carry the stream.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about what I plan on
What about all the other non-whatevers? The ones that aren't ladies or gentlemen? Non-binary.
Well, people and or non-people watching the stream. I'm gonna be cooking a steak, butter basted, with garlic, basil, thyme, and what's the other one? Rosemary. I've not used basil before, but I have used thyme and rosemary, and butter, of course. I'm very interested to see how it turns out. Other than that, you know, life's good. I've been working hard in the mountain. I'm off today. I had expected to register my car today, but for some reason the UPS package is delayed. I don't quite know why, and it's kind of annoying. But I hope it will be resolved within the week. Such is life, and, you know, I'll live. I have completely lost where this tibia mariner is. I don't even know what to look for, and I don't know that my spirit summon knows what to look for. He's gotta be in the water, right? He's a mariner. He was there for a second. Maybe if I stand still, he'll show up. Okay, she's attacking things. Is that him? Oh, that looked like a boss attack. No. Will attacking this do anything? No. Where's the tibia mariner? I found one, but I don't know where... Oh, here we fucking go. He can't actually attack, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it. Oh, he can. God damn it.
It says we have $24 in chat, which means I must have missed a super chat. On God. Yep. Kira Lou with $2 says, will you turn up your
Lou.
audio mic a little, please? Absolutely.
Dang.
Wish I had seen that
What a thing
earlier.
to miss.
There we go. Sorry about that. And there must have been another one I missed. Yes, Clavoy below. Oh no, we read that one. That was first. Okay. Send more super chats. Then I'll read them. Here loses. Hi, thankies, no worries, so better. Absolutely. Thank you for actually noticing the audio and even paying just to say something about it. I would honestly pay someone to tell me if the audio was shitty in every stream. Like, it's amazing how often you, like, I've done streams where nobody mentioned that the audio is bad, and then I listened to the VOD afterwards, and I wouldn't listen to it. And I was like, why didn't anyone say anything to me? Like, I thought this was good content that I could use later. So yeah, it's very important. Thank you very much.
Where the heck did this guy go?
Hopefully all the people listening to the later VOD didn't already click away thinking, oh, the audio's shit in this one. I can't even listen to it.
Well, I mean, if they cared about... Well, I guess the audio is the thing that they're here for. Because the video's
the
been
audio's the only
terrible.
part that fucking matters. If they can't hear us over the boss music or whatever... Because
I can't hear anything.
Neither
through
of
my
us has
headphones.
the game audio available to us. You are all hearing more game audio than we are, so we have no metric. Here, I'll just put on what the stream sounds like for a second. Available to
Lord.
us. You are all hearing... I don't hear any game audio, actually, in that, so maybe they're only hearing
Where
us.
the hell is the Tibia Mariner? Why can't I fucking find him?
Clovis Beloy, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with €2 says, here's another super chat. Also, tried Linux?
I have
No,
ooh.
but I'll ask you about that.
I am
computer
tempted to
person.
try Linux. I have never done it before.
Why are you tempted to try it?
It's you can't trust the system, man.
Your motivations don't seem strong enough.
I just look. I like computers. I've messed around with Windows. I would like to mess around with Linux. Is that so?
Messing around would be is a thing.
Yeah, you know, when I build us both new computers, this computer is either going to go to Vizzy and Mint, or it's going to become my test computer that I do fun stuff
You're getting
with.
stabbed.
That's fine.
But yeah, me? No. I barely understand Windows, much less trying Linux.
You just have to program Linux, right?
It's that, like, to run anything, you have to enter, like, run commands. So, like, you can't just, like, double-click an icon and a thing comes up. It's like you type in, you know, like, the things that make the thing run, and then it goes. And that's the main reason that it seems like a big pain in the ass, and that they're, like... I've had other friends who are big into tech who've been like, yeah, I've tried Linux, I just... you know, like, they want that ease of user interface. It only seems to click with people who really are, like, willing to go through the rigmarole of, like...
Rigmarole.
Like, do you want using your computer to be like cooking every time you use it?
Every time?
Yes. Every time you use it, it will be just like cooking. That's what Linux is like.
Maybe.
So it'll be a more, you know, it'll be a more engaging experience, but it'll be like, you know, you have to think about what you're doing every time you do it. That's the impression I've gotten anyways. I could be wrong. Lady Akemi gave us $10. Says, Trixie, what in your opinion is the best story ever? Based on the number of interesting characters, the story and complexity of themes, and how well they tie into the story, can be anime, game, etc. Wow.
I mean, it's the greatest story ever told, right?
I actually want to know your
80s,
answer
90s
first.
movie.
What do you think is the best story ever? Because I know what a few of your favorites, and I'm so curious to know what you'll
Best
what you'll say is
story
the best
ever.
Because I have a few answers in mind for different mediums that I think are close. But it's hard for, like, best is a really difficult statement. If we're asking, like, which ones do I think, like, gave the most to me, I can answer that. Best,
Movie?
Ooh, the Bible is the best story ever. It's had the
Shush.
most effective most.
Movie, I would say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Interesting.
TV show, Psych. Anime, K. Music, the best story.
Now you've got me thinking about best story in music, because that wasn't something I'd thought about yet. But there's
I
a
would
lot of
say
room there.
Hamilton for me, just in terms of
Hamilton
what I've
is a
heard.
really good story, especially because it's based in real life, so there's a lot to chew on there.
And then I guess book. I would have to think a second on the book one. I read Artemis Fowl. I really enjoy the Artemis Fowl series.
Okay. So for best story ever. So, god damn, what a fucking question. So I already made the argument kind of in the Legend of the Galactic Heroes anime alphabet video that was like the best anime
I am gonna
story.
change my answer from K to Ginga. Ginga's really
Ginga
good.
Au Densetsu.
Ginga's a really incredible story.
Incredible story. But I will say that as amazing as I thought that story was, I was shocked to realize that it only takes place over 5 years. And so not really that much happens in the grand scheme of things. Like, I've seen other stories where more time passes and more stuff happens. So it still might be, I mean, it's the most epic and, like, the most fulfilling and detailed story I can think of in anime. So, like, when it comes to anime, it's really... Gintama is a really compelling series in that it can be so many different things, but it almost feels like I'm comparing 300 separate stories to, like, one consistent story to compare that to Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So, yeah, it's hard for me not to say the Ginga when it comes to anime. I'm also a big fan of Sangatsu no Lion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, but whatever. Aside from those, book-wise, the best book I've ever read is House of Leaves. I don't know if I can say it's a better story than Legend of Galactic Heroes. I'm sure there might be some books that are that good. I haven't read them. Movie-wise, there's nothing that compares to Legend of Galactic Heroes on the story front that I can think of. But, what's the best story I've seen in a movie? Maybe The Lord of the Rings. Pretty exciting, and I haven't read the books. So
I have never seen all of The Lord of the Rings.
they're pretty fun.
I have read 2 of the books, and I've actually seen 2 of the movies, so that works out.
Yeah. You've consumed more than I have, then, because I haven't read any of the books. Except for like 30 pages, the first one.
I also read The Hobbit.
And then... But when it comes to web novels, Homestuck was the very first thing that came to mind when I was reading the comment. Because there's so many fucking characters, there's so much meta content, it's so fucking long, it goes so deep into just like all the building blocks of how stories are formed. I relate to the author a lot in the way that he thinks about stories. You know, I would say that like stylistically, Kusomega, my book, is fairly similar in tone to Homestuck. The biggest difference is that Andrew Hussey decompresses stuff as much as possible, and my goal is to compress stuff as much as possible. Like, I want my story to happen in as few words as it can, almost, whereas he wants it to happen in as many words as he can. So I really appreciate Homestuck, but I feel very tepid about the thought of ever reading it all the way through again.
I don't want to read Homestuck.
I don't know if you would like it very much. There's things about it you would like, but I don't think you'd have the patience. If you had read it when you were like 15, I think you would have liked it.
I don't remember the character's name, but I was always compared to a character who had platinum blonde hair.
It's probably either Dave Strider or Dirk Strider.
Let me look up Dirk, because that sounds correct.
Dirk Strider is the gay brony who thinks that he lives on the highest level of irony.
Yeah, Dirk's the one I was compared to.
Yeah. He's the older brother of Dave, who's like one of the main characters, who gets introduced much later on. Great character. But I don't think you're that much like him at all, actually.
What character in media do you... Well, okay, start with Homestuck.
All media? Yeah.
Start with Homestuck, but then I would say in all media.
You wouldn't know the characters in Homestuck. Maybe
I don't care. Someone would. Carcat?
Well,
I know who Carcat
Victor's
is.
more of a Carcat than you are. Because that was who he really liked in the story. God, I'm just like struggling to think of all the characters because it's been like a decade since I fucking read Homestuck. I'll get back to you on that.
Well, what about all media?
Who have I compared you to?
I don't know.
I feel like I see little bits of you in lots of characters. I can't think off the top of my head of a character who's all the way like you. You're a unique person. That's why I like you so much.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I talking about? Was I still answering that question? Complexity of... Oh yeah, Ultimate Story. Mass Effect is really good for video games. I don't think I've played another video game with a story I like more than that one, so that's going to be my top vote for that category. The Wire for Western TV show is still by far the most complex, intricate, best characters, most themes. Anime-wise, I went over Legend of Galactic Heroes is probably the top. I also really like Log Horizon, but it hasn't gotten to that level yet. Ultimate story, man. I feel like I still haven't read a story that impressed me enough. Really. Like, what I actually think a story can do, I haven't read it yet. And it's really upsetting.
I
for
think
me.
Kusomega. That's my answer.
Kusumega's good. It's not long. It's too messy. I don't like Volume 2 that much. I went back through Kusomega because
I think
went back and edited
Kusomega
it,
is
and
the best story that's ever been written.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good. It's good. It's like a strong 8 to a light 9 at best.
I think Kusomega.
At worst, it's like a strong 6 to a light 7. If you think it's worse than that, you're being an absolute asshole. But but it's at least a 6 to a 9, somewhere in that area. It's not a 10 out of 10. I can do better.
I think it's a 13 out of 10.
In my opinion, the best thing that I've written so far has only been heard by you, Riley, and Mint, which is my book Good People that only has like 2
Good
chapters
People's
written.
great.
But that is by far my favorite thing I've written so far. And, like, I think it's my fear of diminishing the quality of it that has made me not continue it yet. Why I haven't finished it is it's what I've written is too good, and now the expectation is too high. I have to be equally inspired. The appeal of Homestuck is the characters, but the story is all over the place. I mean, what I like about it is that it's... So, okay, for me, as a consumer of media, I think just because I've always taken the perspective of, like, I'm more interested in comparing different things than I am in watching things individually. So, like, a lot of people get into anime and they have, like, 20 or 30 shows that they really, really care about, and then, like, maybe they've seen 100, 200 anime, and, like, that's the average experience of anime for a person who would consider themselves a hardcore fan. It's not normal to watch thousands of shows. There's only so many of us. And those are the people who are either...
I mean, I've even seen an abnormal amount of anime.
You've seen more than the normal amount. Yeah, like already just by being around me. And it
No,
happens,
before being around
Even
you.
before being around me. I would say you've seen the most that I would consider to be like like this is an anime fan. You know, like if you've seen like 50 to 100 anime, I'm like that's a person who knows anime. You know, that's about where you're at, right?
I'm like
Probably.
150, I think.
So like, well, I would say through being with me, you've probably sampled over 200 anime with me.
Sure,
Like, just do seasonals.
With you, I'm probably up to 250 or 300.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised if you looked back at how many seasonal shows we watched like half an episode of, or like 2 episodes of at 4 times speed, and then completely forgot about back last year. Yeah, like I've seen a way abnormal amount of anime, so I don't remember why I'm talking about that.
Me neither.
I need more super chats. Kusomega Volume 1 is pretty cool. Thank you, Clovis. I really like what there is of Volume 3 so far as well, and parts of Volume 2. Volume 2 is not my favorite, though. It's a little strained in places. It's a little lopsided, you know? You can feel the difficulty I was having in figuring out where I was trying to go with the series. But, it's still enjoyable. I like the characterization in Volume 2. Volume 1 is better for, like, the shock value and all the, like, raw idea-ness of it, all the metatextual stuff. And then Volume 2 is, like, I'm actually trying to tell a story now, so there's some decent characterization, but it's a little all over the place. And then Volume 3 is where I think it really starts to find its voice. But, it's incomplete. I don't know how many people have even heard the Nut Check preview.
Nut check?
Yeah, because of the fact that in Chapter 1 of Volume 3, Takuma punches Akira in the balls. So I called it the Nut Check Preview.
It sounds bad.
You've heard it. It was great.
No, the nut checking. It's not
Oh, yeah,
good.
getting hit in the balls is not good. But Akira is a bad guy, so it's good in that context. Kira Lou with $5 says, rant about Code Geass and its strong points.
Please call it the regular name if she's wanting you to.
It's called Code Geass! How would you pronounce it?
Gias?
Why would you pronounce it that way? Hold on, let me look up how it's supposed to be pronounced. Let's find this out once and for all.
Actually, I would pronounce it Gias.
Okay. In
Okay.
fairness, it is Kodo
Gyasu.
Gyasu.
So I'm closer.
You are closer. Kodo Gyasu. I guess I just assumed it was probably the gas sound. That's why I've been calling it Gasu. Because I think it's really funny to say Code Gas.
Yeah, I know you think it's really funny to say that.
But, because people comment on it every time, which is hilarious.
Kodo Gyasu.
Like every single time I say it, someone's never heard it before. And it's the joke that's been made since 2006. But, you know. Kodo Gyasu. Kodo Gyasu's strong points are that Lelouch is a really strong character.
Lelouch is great. I would compare myself to him because I'm so cool.
The character designs are really good. Nunnally's really hot, even though she's like 11 or something. Why are you looking at me like that? Nobody can see what's happening. They're just like, everyone went quiet. He was staring at me with an intense furiosity because I said gay ass too many times. Right?
Yes, it was the gay ass.
I remember there was cool mechs and people fought and I was in love with
Well,
Callan.
yeah, it's basically a Rekka 7.
Callan Stadfeld is good.
Who's-
It is very similar. Callan's the red-haired girl with the big titty. She's the one who lives in love with Lelouch. She wants to fight for him because she thinks he's the savior of the Japanese people. You don't remember Callan?
No.
Callan and C2 are the hot chicks.
I remember C2.
Yeah, C2 is the hottest girl in anime, possibly ever. She's in the top 5. She's got that ass. Lydia Kemi says, I want to read books again. You were saying something like that recently.
I would never say something like that.
You were like, I gotta get back into reading, improve my reading habits. And I was like, that sounds like something an intellectual would say.
I would never be caught dead.
Can you believe we've been streaming for an entire hour already?
Yeah, I can. Despite...
It feels to me like about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it really does. It's crazy how the time flies.
We've been streaming Elden Ring, fighting the Lord of Blood. What day is it today?
It's Tuesday. I happen to have the day off from the
Is-
mountain.
4 o'clock on a Tuesday.
4 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Have you ever heard the song Club Going Up on a Tuesday?
No.
It's by a guy called I Love McConan. He's very bad, but he had a hit single called Club Going Up on a Tuesday about, like, miserable people who would be at the club on a Tuesday. It's like a sad club banger. Kind of like Took a Pill in Ibiza.
That sounds interesting. Oh, I did it. I got Moog. Yeah. Yeah. You know we got Moog. You know it. The Lord of Blood, that's me. I can't wait for the Mikola DLC.
Michelob. More like Michelob.
I got 840,000 runes from that. I can level up so many times.
Jane says Callan is shit and Two Love Rue has the hottest girls in anime. Have you ever seen any? You ever heard of Two Love Rue?
No.
I'll show you.
She's cute. They're cute. But I don't like that they all have pink hair.
There are too many pink-haired bitches in this fucking show. It's not like that at first. There becomes a bunch of pink-haired chicks.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Bastards.
Gotta go to a meeting, but thank you for your time again, says Kirilu.
I appreciate you, Kirilu. Thank you for donating. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you.
MN&M says the last book I read was 10 years ago. I actually am not sure I read a complete book since the time I made that video called I Read a Book, Do I Get a Trophy? In like early 2017, which would be 5 years ago.
In the last 5 years, I've probably read 5 books.
What are they? Name one.
Well, I can't name one of them.
You can't name one?
No, sorry. There's a specific one I can't name.
Can you name any of the other four?
Boomtown. I don't remember the author's name. There are a couple different Discworld... Mort by Terry Pratchett. That's a Discworld book. God. Oh, I can't even remember what it's called. Let me look it up, because it's a really weird... The Borderlands? I think it is called something like The Borderlands. But it's not...
I'm trying to remember a book.
What was it called?
It's
a book about a girl who's growing up in like a 1910s town, and she comes across like a spectral gambler who's basically the devil, and she has to engage in a game of wits against him, and I can't remember what it's called specifically. There's that. I've been working through Grant, which is an 800-page book, and I'm about 250
from the same author
pages.
as Hamilton,
Yeah.
that the play was based on.
Yeah, I don't know other than that.
Well, I think we might have started this stream too early in the day. What do you think?
I think I can agree with you.
Alright. Everybody, we might see you later or something. Or some other day.
We'll see you around. This is goodbye.
Goodbye!